I want to welcome you again. I am Alicia Spitz, and I am the very proud principal of Brookview and Seneca Schools here in West Irondequoit. As I stated earlier, this is for our kindergarten presentation for our class of 2034, which will seem really far away, but it will be here before we all know it. Very nice to see so many returning families and a lot of new families to our school as well, starting in the fall. Ms. Noy, are you able to put up the PowerPoint presentation for us?
Yep. Can you see it?
We can.
Okay, cool.
Okay, tonight's agenda really is going to be around welcomes and introductions from our kindergarten team and our Brookview staff, those members who you're really going to have the most encounters with, especially during your kindergarten year. We're going to discuss the role of the PTSA, what kindergarten looks like in West Irondequoit, how you can help us prepare your child for kindergarten. We're going to get to watch a video or a snapshot of what it looks like in a typical classroom in kindergarten in West Irondequoit. Medical information that you're going to need to know prior to your child starting school, and then any next steps that we would like to share with you at this point. So I'm going to start with our very top part of our Brady Bunch screen here. Mr. Pringle, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Absolutely. My name is Mark Pringle, and I'm one of the kindergarten teachers at Brookview.
Hi, I'm Christy Atmarda Prima, and I'm also a kindergarten teacher here at Brookview.
I'm Taylor Noya. I'm the school counselor here at Brookview and at Seneca School.
And I'm Gretchen Tortor. I'm the building secretary at Brookview.
And I'm Maria McCulloch. I'm the school nurse here at Brookview.
Thank you all. You'll be able to work with each of these individuals, from day one when starting here at Brookview School. They're going to be a very positive role model in your child's life and really become a part of your family as well. Homeschool connections is something that we believe very strongly about here in West Irondequoit. We have different opportunities for families to be involved. We have a very active PTSA. Our biggest wish for our students is the positive experiences that they're going to be having when they start kindergarten here at school with us. We get so excited every year to have your kiddos join us, and I know that they're just as excited to join us here at school. Attending parent-teacher conferences, we do have those twice a year for our parents to really come in and talk to their teachers about how their kiddos are doing in school. Attending the different school events, and then also that close communication with the classroom teacher. I'm always very encouraging of our families to make contact with their teacher anytime they have a question about something first in the classroom, as they really will be the point of contact with all of our families. Typically, we would have a PTSA rep with us to really talk to you about what all is involved with the Parent Teacher Student Association. But with the new regulations and us doing it over Zoom, I figured that I would kind of let them sit this one out this year and help them fill in the gaps for all of us. Our PTSA here at Brookview is very active. They host social events about once every other month for our families to really come together. And in a community school, it's very important to attend these events because you get to know each other very well. They offer educational programs for our students. We have different groups come into the school to do performances and that sort of thing for our kids, opportunities that they might not have outside of school. They have book fairs twice a year. We have book fairs now here at Brookview, cultural arts programs, and also they do different donations to charities around the community. We really try to stay local so that all of our charity work that we do really does give right back to our own community.
Awesome. Again, my name is Mark Pringle, one of the kindergarten teachers, and I would love to highlight some of our favorite parts of a typical day in kindergarten at school. After the children come in through the building and are settled, we always begin with one of our favorite parts being our morning meeting. Morning meeting is a time to foster both academic and social skills. It gives all children the benefit of previewing their day while greeting their friends and having their voice be heard. It's often a time for children to share and respond to content-based learning for the day, as well as engage in both reading and math-based learning experiences. After a morning meeting, we engage in the workshop model, both in reading and in math. And a workshop is based on gradually releasing responsibility to students. So we begin with a mini lesson where teachers are modeling a specific skill. We're showing the children what it looks like to be fluent and proficient. We give children an opportunity to practice that skill with support, again, from the teacher. Children are turning and talking to one another. They're grappling with that skill, and then opportunities for children to practice that skill independently. And while that's happening, teachers are meeting in small groups, in partnerships, and one-on-one with kids to move them forward, again, in both their reading and math development. Science and social studies is integrated throughout the course of the day. Some of our units of study include weather and climate, water play, seasons, plants, and forces in motion. In social studies, we learn all about ourselves, diversity, how we're alike and different from one another. We also explore families, patriotic symbols, and neighborhoods. And there is oftentimes many opportunities for children to be active and moving within the classroom, to build their physical development, and lunch, recess, and opportunities to engage in special classes like art, music, phys ed, and library too.
Hi, everybody. My name is Christy Atmar again. I'm one of the kindergarten teachers. So I'm going to be talking to you again about preparing your child for kindergarten and things that you can do to get ready from now until September. The main thing is just read to your child daily, both fiction and nonfiction, really exposing them to literature. Also, if your child enjoys getting on the computer, using a mouse, using an iPad, having a card game with them, if you want to do like Go Fish, and having them do board games, anything to promote learning. Some other things that you can do is identifying letters in their environment around you. So when you go to the grocery store, letting them look for letters in their name, coming home, looking at cereal boxes, doing the same thing, looking for letters in their name. When you're walking around, looking at a stop sign, talking about the letters there. Again, playing any games that you can to pull in letter names. This is the name of this letter. This is a capital. This is an uppercase. This is a lowercase. And just practicing your ABCs in different mediums, such as clay or shaving cream, Play-Doh, anything that you can do to just engage them in that rich environment in your home.
Another way to prepare your child for this upcoming year is to think mathematically by manipulating objects, household objects, and toys around their house. Anytime we compare that motion with language, let's figure out how many, or let's see, how many hops it takes to get from the kitchen, to the living room, engaging them in those motor activities, those manipulating activities to bring about awareness with mathematical concepts will do them well. Noticing numbers, pairing that with names for numbers, and finding really just authentic ways to make sense of mathematics. Another important skill to think about prior to the start of the year is modeling that careful counting or that one-to-one correspondence. So how many do we have in a set? We can figure that out by touching each object and counting numbers in order. This is very easy to do by singing songs, listening to nursery rhymes, anything natural that incorporates that language piece.
So some things that encourage helpful habits and social skills that will help your child. So just some more things to prep them before they come to kindergarten is, and I know this is really hard with everything going on right now, but trying to stick to a schedule, either, telling them what comes next so that they're ready for that, listening and following 1 to 2 step directions. Doing simple chores around your home, like putting toys away, or after you read a book, could you put this back in the basket, or can you put this back on the shelf, and giving them that 1 step to 2 step directions. Starting to get dressed by themselves. A great one to look at is how can they put their coat on by themselves? Can they do their snow pants by themselves right now, and their boots? That will help us so much in kindergarten. Getting along with others, trying to bring back that game and being able to lose during a game, and how taking turns is beneficial to everyone playing the game. Also solving simple problems and applying coping skills, like talking it out. If you're feeling upset, why are you feeling upset? And looking at how other people around you are feeling. So I hope this helps. And if you have any other questions for ideas for social skills, you can always reach out to us and we will give you some more ideas.
Tagging along with that, really, aside from reading daily, the next best thing is just talking, and exposing your child to that oral language, and filling their ears with words. Modeling what fluent talking is about by using complete sentences, and encouraging your child, again through modeling, responding to you with those complete sentences. Again, expanding your child's vocabulary is key. And then again, some of that social thinking, when I'm talking to you or I'm talking to somebody else, I can show that I care, I can show that I listen by making that eye contact, by repeating things that they say and asking questions or staying on topic. All of those things that we appreciate as adults, kind of thinking backwards and modeling that for our children. And again, making that that learner characteristic known. So what does a learner look like and sound like? If we want that for our children, we can model that, so that becomes a known and ready behavior.
All right, so next we just have a little bit of a video to show you guys. It is kind of an interview from kindergartners themselves, so that you can kind of hear from a kindergartner's point of view what they think of kindergarten.
Be brave, don't be scared anymore, because you, in preschool you were really good. You're gonna be good in kindergarten too. Kindergarten is fun. We read sometimes, we do math right now. We learn 3D shapes. Because I like to have fun and read and draw pictures and be active and sing. We go to Hello Nature Center because you get to listen to all your teachers, and it's really fun that your teachers always listen to you. And they're really, really, really kind to you. I've learned spelling. We learn about telling time. We learn about numbers, number equations, learn how to read books. We have been learning about lots and lots of things. I like when we have PE because it's active and it's fun. Best part about kindergarten is playtime because I like to play a lot with my friends a lot. We get to have special visitors and we learn. I think we learn stuff every day. We have recess, we have lunch, we have relax and learn, and sometimes we have special activities. Always be nice. Be brave. Help others. Have fun and play with some friends. Yep. Now I know all about kindergarten. Be brave.
Okay, so again, my name is Taylor Noy. I'm the school counselor at Brookview in Seneca School. And of course, that video just showed that, kindergarten is a really fun time and the kids really, really enjoy it. So, the best thing that you guys can also do to prepare your students for kindergarten is just encourage them and let them know that it's so much fun. It'll put their mind at ease a little bit to hear, you kind of reassure them that they'll have a great time. They'll be in good hands when they come see us in September. So,
hello, I'm Lona Cornell, RN.
So really quick, I'll go back to that slide, but the slide back is just a voiceover of kind of some information that you guys need to know in terms of just basic health information. And it's about a 6-minute voiceover. So, there will be some words on the screen, but for the most part, we'll just do some listening as to what is necessary for health information for your students. Maybe.
Hello, I'm Lona Cornell, RN. On behalf of the West Irondequoit School District K-3 health offices, I would like to welcome this coming year's kindergarten families. I am going to discuss information that you will need prior to your child beginning kindergarten. You may have already filled out a kindergarten registration packet on the district website, but if you need assistance, please contact the district's registration office at 585-336-6743 or your child's home school. In the registration packet, you will find many forms, but I'm going to talk about the forms specifically needed for the health office. Number 1, health and development. This form reviews your child's health history from birth to present. We would like to know things that could possibly affect your child's day at school. Just think, what would I want staff to know about my child? Such as sleep habits, bowel and bladder habits, stage of potty training, or special eating habits. Please feel free to add anything not mentioned on the form. Number 2, confidential student health information update. This form allows specific health information that you would want shared with staff members that may interact with your child during the school day, such as life-threatening allergies, asthma, seizures, or diabetes. Sharing this information allows staff to know what symptoms to look for. A new one of these forms needs to be filled out every school year. Number 3, disclosure of protected health information, also known as the HIPAA form. This form gives staff permission to give or receive health information with your child's healthcare professional, such as physicals and medication orders. A new one of these forms needs to be filled out every school year. Physical and health assessment. Although a blank physical form is included, your child's doctor will document the physical electronically You can ask for a copy or ask that it be faxed to your child's home school. An up-to-date physical is required by New York State mandate to begin kindergarten. The physical is acceptable if it is dated up to but not beyond 1 year prior to the first day of school in September. So, if school begins on September 3rd this year, the physical can be dated as far back as September 3rd of last year. Number 5, the dental certificate. Although not mandated by New York State, our hope is that your child has seen a dentist by the time they enter kindergarten. When they do, have the dentist complete this form and return it to the school. Number 6, immunizations. You will find a form explaining what New York State mandated immunizations your child needs to have received at age 5 to start school. Most pediatricians will not do their 5-year physical and immunizations until they've had their 5th birthday. If your child turns 5 after the start of school, they may start school, but they would have 14 days after their 5th birthday to complete their immunizations. The most common vaccines due at that age are the 5th DTaP, the 2nd MMR, and the 2nd varicella. If your child is on a catch-up schedule with the pediatrician, then the health office would need documentation from the doctor with the catch-up plan and your child's appointment dates. Please note that the completed physicals and immunizations are required for fully remote learners as well. The same rules apply even though they don't physically attend school. Some other additional important information. If your child will need to take medication while at school, an adult will need to bring the medication to the health office when school starts. It needs to be in the original container, and we will need a doctor's order either brought by the adult or the doctor's office can fax it to the health office. Please note that students may not bring medication to school themselves for safety reasons. You will receive additional information in the mail over the summer, which may include a form called Permission to Administer Over-the-Counter Meds. This allows the health office to administer stock non-prescription medications such as calamine lotion for itches, Vaseline or Blistex for chapped lips, and saline solution or eye wash for flushing the eyes for something like an eyelash. Also, if brought in from home, the health office can administer sunscreen and cough drops. You should plan on your child going outside for recess on any day that the temperature and wind chill is above 20 degrees and it is not raining. Please ensure that your child comes to school with the appropriate footwear and outdoor clothing. Also, it is not unusual for some kindergartners to have unexpected accidents at school. Having a change of clothing to be kept in their backpack or cubby is very helpful. Lastly, it is very important that staff at the school can contact families when needed. Please use the parent portal to update any contact person's names and phone numbers. Remember to do this, especially if someone gets a new phone number. If you need more information about the parent portal, please contact the building secretary at your child's home school. We look forward to meeting the next kindergartners and their families and teaming with them to create a safe and healthy environment to learn and grow. Thank you.
All right, so that was a lot of information about our health office, but we hope it was kind of comprehensive. And again, if you do have any questions, you can, reach out to our nurse, Maria McCulloch, or the other nurses in the district. But so we heard a lot of great things about how to prepare your kiddo for kindergarten. So now, how do we get them there? So what do we do next? So I'm just going to kind of go over the registration steps for kindergarten. So this year it's a little different. Typically, you'd have to schedule an appointment to hand in all of your paperwork, but this year you're able to complete all the registration forms online. So really quickly, I was just going to show all of you how to access the link to get there. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen really quick. And then I'm going to share my screen to our website. So in the district website, you're going to go to departments and then student registration. And then what should pop up is right in red here, it'll say kindergarten registration. And you're going to click this link where it says by visiting this page. And then when you get to this page, you'll scroll down and then you'll just press click here for the entire registration packet. And you should be able to fill out that packet right on the computer, and then you're going to save it to your computer, and then you're going to email a hard copy along with copies of your child's immunization records, birth certificate, and anything else to our registrar, James Cesar. Or if you're unable to complete it online, you can request having a packet mailed to you, or you can, email or mail in any of these documents as well. So I just wanted to quick show you that so you guys knew how to access it. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen again, and I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint. Okay. So in the packet, when you are registering online, what you'll find is a 2-page registration form that basically just kind of goes over some demographic information about your child. And all of these need to be in by April 1st of this year. You can, of course, fill out all of these and send it in anytime before that. We've already had some families that have registered, but the end date is April 1st. So you've got about almost 2 more months to kind of get all that information in. And then, immunizations must be up to date to begin school, as the previous slide had mentioned. In that packet will also be the health and developmental history form that the previous slide had mentioned, basically outlining if your child has any allergies, any other medical things that we need to know, any other medical conditions. And then, of course, scheduling a health physical for your child and returning all those forms in before the start date. Obviously, we know that by that time, doctor's appointments get really filled up. So if for some reason you're unable to schedule an appointment before the first day of school, please just let the health office know when that appointment will be. Fourth on the list, another important thing is just a transportation request form. So you only need to fill this out if your child is not going to be transported from your home residence to or from school. So for example, if your child is going to a daycare, there is a form that must be filled out for that, just outlining which daycare provider it is. And that daycare provider does need to be within the Western Iroquois boundary. If it's something outside of that, then unfortunately we're not able to provide transportation. And so that also that needs to be, returned to our school at Brookview or at the district office by April 1st. And, of course, we know that these things change. You're able to change these things at any time as well. Any additional information you feel is needed for placement needs to be in writing with an explanation for why by May 1st. And of course, requests for specific teachers will not be honored, and there's no guarantee that a placement request will be honored as well. But, every year we always have to look at our numbers and, see and fit kids in a certain spot as is. And then lastly, after we get all of the paperwork stuff, the boring stuff out of the way, just, talking positively with your child about school, again, just getting them excited and getting them to know what to expect. We have a lot of returning families this year, which we're super excited about. So siblings can even help get in the process and have, get their siblings excited for kindergarten. Just letting them know, that learning is fun. And, if you have any questions about anything, you can reach out to us or, Mrs. Tortora, Mrs. Spitz at any time.
So kindergarten screening, typically in years past, we have had students and families come in and participate in kindergarten screening day here at Brookview School. With the guidelines that we have in place right now, we're not quite sure what kindergarten screening is going to look like, but we're really going to still try to have some sort of screening for our kids coming into K in the fall. You will have some detailed information come home to you after that April 1st deadline, once all the registration packets have been completed, so that we have a better idea of who's coming to school and how many spots we would need to fill for those screening dates. But we are very hopeful that we are able to have screening again this year. Ms. Noya talked a little bit about transportation in the sense of you needing to fill out that paperwork in order for students to be transported to and from a different facility or home. In West Irondequoit, we only can transport within our district, within our area, and then kiddos can be picked up at home and then dropped off at a sitter in the afternoon, but they can't be dropped off or picked up at grandma's 4 days a week and then the sitters 1 day a week. So it really has to be one drop-off, one pickup location in the morning, and then one drop-off location in the afternoon, but they can be different. Having said that, if they wanted to take the bus only 3 days in the afternoon and then, get picked up the other 2 days by grandma, that's perfectly fine as well. But we really only do allow for one pickup location and one drop-off location, which can be a little bit tricky. My first year, my child went to school. I said, "What do you mean Hannah can't be dropped off at grandma's on Wednesdays? It's always grandma day on Wednesdays." So I myself had to do a little learning around that. So disappointing, but I completely understand the why. Students are,
and I was gonna say, even if you live down the street, your child is able to have transportation. So anybody can get the bus when they're kindergarten through 3rd grade.
It's a bonus because the kids love the bus. Breakfast and lunch students are able to purchase here at school. Breakfast typically includes this year, especially, cereal with the milk. The kiddos also have in there a snack for the afternoon or the morning time, and also a juice box. Lunches this year look a little bit different with everything going on with the new guidelines, but typically hot lunch is served for our kids in kindergarten through 3rd grade, and they do have an opportunity to purchase lunch every day if they wanted to. Most Fridays we do have pizza, so that is our biggest selling day for lunch. The kids seem to really enjoy it. I personally love lunchtime and breakfast with especially our kindergartners because it's really an opportunity. And I think our teachers actually spend most time in the lunchroom with their kiddos during the months of September and October, just teaching them how to build their independent habits and just sitting on the bench next to each other and what that might look like, and eating properly at the table, using their utensils, throwing away their garbage. So, it's an amazing opportunity to really interact with the kids in such a unstructured setting and just helping them to become little eaters. It's a fun thing to watch, because by June they can come in at lunch and breakfast and eat perfectly. I'm always like, oh man, you remember when they first came in? But the teachers do a great job. They really do spend a great deal of their own lunches with their kiddos during that first couple of weeks to make sure that they're set up for success for the school year. We do offer a free and reduced lunch form that can be filled out after July 1st for families who would like to apply for that. Families who do qualify do receive either free or reduced lunches based on income. The first days of school seems like so far away, but it's going to be here tomorrow. The first day of school for kindergarten through 12th grade does fall on the same day. The calendar has not yet been approved by the Board of Education, so we are waiting for that first date to come out online for us. Here at Brookview, our South End is considered South End school. We start at 9:05 and we dismiss at 3:05 in a typical year. If you are a South End family joining us tonight, so Colebrook, Listowel, or Seneca, your schools traditionally run from 8:30 to 2:30 is dismissal. And that's because we share our buses between the North End and the South End. So we have a staggered arrival and a staggered dismissal. So at this point, we have provided you with enough information to saturate for a couple of days and probably start to percolate a lot of questions. But if you have any questions that are general in nature, we would love to offer an opportunity for you to ask them now. If you have questions that are specific to your child, I will ask that you do reach out to either myself, Miss Noya, any of our kindergarten, anybody on the screen here really from Brookview School, and they would be able to help support that answer in that question. But if you have any general questions right now, I would love to have an opportunity to have you ask them.
I have one. Sorry if we missed it, but you may have seen our kids running around. What did you say? Did you say anything about the hybrid situation next year? What the plans are? Because I didn't catch anything.
Yeah, well, I'll go back to your first comment. My favorite part of tonight has been watching all of the children run around. It's actually been like the highlight of this orientation. So I thank you for involving your children. I love it. I love it. It's been, I see that face. It's been the best part of my night. So thank you for that. To answer your question though, at this point, we have not, we're starting to really look at next year in terms of it will continue to be a hybrid model. And a lot of that, we have to wait for the guidance from the state. So right now we're kind of on a hold, but as we do receive information about next year, we really do try to get that out to our community as fast as we receive it so that everybody can make preparations on their end. So it's not a great answer, but it's an honest answer.
Yeah, okay. We just didn't hear it. We thought
Yeah. No, I'm hopeful that we can come back to school full time. And again, we're just waiting on guidance from the state at this point.
So we all hope so too. All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Great question. Alicia, you had started to talk and then you muted yourself on accident, I think. There you go.
I'm awesome at Zoom, aren't I? Woo! So I actually had a question about parents who want to get involved in the PTSA. How will they do that?
So for next year, I'm not sure who our PTSA reps will be for next year at this point. I know that we have a couple of PTSA reps this year, but unfortunately with COVID, we've not had any events at this point. But I can certainly put you in contact with those reps from this year if you would like me to. Caitlin Joyce.
I'm just thinking parents in general, like, you know, I think it's a great time to get involved so that we can all get to know each other and, you know, just make sure we don't miss the boat.
Absolutely. And I know that Gretchen, Mrs. Tortora will send out information in the beginning of the year of how parents can get involved in the PTSA. So really, you'll just have to kind of look in your emails for those to come through. But I know that you have so much information in the fall that comes home to you. So please feel free to email her if you happen to miss it by the end of September, because it will have gone off in that first couple of weeks. There was a question that was asked by James was this year's hybrid for kindergarten? And families this year were given an option to either participate in the fully remote learning experiences or a hybrid model. So kids this year in kindergarten had an opportunity to come into school 4 days a week. And then Wednesday, students participated in asynchronous learning from home. But Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, they were in school with us for the full days. Great question.
I have a question about the screenings. So if we don't do them prior to the school year happening, will they be replaced with Zoom screenings or the first day of school?
So once the students, actually, Mr. Pringle or Miss Otmar, I'll let you speak to that because we had a little bit of that this year because we weren't able to participate last year.
So because we couldn't do the screening this past spring, when the children came to school this year, we kind of got to know them a little bit on a social level and just got to experience them in the classroom. And then after like 2 weeks, we started doing our own screening in the classroom. And Mr. Pringle and I and our TA, the three of us did it with all of the children. So I don't know if that answers your question, but we really don't know yet until the higher B's tell us.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, Raina.
Am I gonna be in Miss Artmar's class or no?
Oh, Raina, you can ask me that question in August, my friend, and then Mrs. Spitz might have an idea. But for right now, we are not sure.
Okay.
Is that who Lucas had?
You're gonna love kindergarten either way.
Anywhere you go, Raina, you are gonna absolutely love kindergarten, just like Lucas did, my friend.
Okay.
Oh.
I guess.
Any other last minute general questions that we can offer an answer to? We do have a lot of returning families this year, which is really nice to see. And I'm excited to meet our new families. I apologize that we are not in person because it is really a nice opportunity to start to form that relationship with our new family. So I am sorry for that fact that we're not in person. But like I said, having a lot of the kiddos on Zoom with us tonight has been a joy. Because that's why we are here, is for our kiddos. If you have any questions once we do exit and you have some opportunity to really think about all that you've heard tonight, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm going to actually ask Ms. Tortora to send out the PowerPoint to everybody as well, so that so that you have the information that was on the slide, and you, in case you weren't able to see some of the smaller print. So if you have any questions, once you do have an opportunity to read through that, please, again, don't hesitate to reach out. We really appreciate your time tonight. Great to see again so many of you, and I look forward to meeting a lot of you in person when the opportunity does arise. Thanks everyone for joining us. Have a great weekend. One more thing when we're there. Take care.